Shapiro, perfect setup for our next guest. I just want to ask him right off the bat, you want to be part of this Eurozone? Well, this next country might not come to mind when you're thinking of the EU just yet, but Romania is poised to become part of the Eurozone by 2015. But with the turmoil in the region, will Romania have a change of heart? We're joined now in this Fox Business exclusive by Mircea Geoana, the Romanian Senate President. Perfect to have you here today. Thank you so much for being here, Senator.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, you still want to be part of this? You're part of the European Union, but not yet part of the Eurozone Monetary Union. You are still committed to being part of this?
It's an objective that we still have. 2015, is it realistic? Is it doable? Would Eurozone countries receive new members after the Greek example and debacle? There are different questions with different answers. But strategically speaking, being in the heart of the decision-making of Europe is an objective that we have. I cannot put a bet on the date of the entry and also on the conditions of the entry, because it's clear that Europe will be far more rigorous and far more attentive before receiving new members.
So it'll make it harder for you now after everything that's happened with Greece?
Harder for us, and also harder for the other countries in our part of Europe which are not members of the Eurozone. Okay. Because in fact we are doing all the difficult things we need to do, and look at the contagion and look at the domino effect. Romania's prospect for growth for next year were revised downwards. I anticipate.
So what? What is your growth?
Originally, it was supposed to be something like 3% GDP growth. Now it goes probably down to 2%. And after this conversation on the way to the G20, Sarkozy, Merkel, and Papandreou, I'm afraid that there will be additional revision of the forecast downwards.
But it's positive for you, from where you stand, to be a part of the European Union. I would assume for export and import possibilities and real opportunity for your economy, of your nation. That's why you want to be part of it?
We are part of it. There is also a significant package of financial assistance for free for member states in the European Union, 32 billion euros that Romania is supposed to receive in terms of cohesion funds, development, agriculture. The fact that we're not absorbing that much, that's a different story. But by and large, this is something which is supported by our citizens.
I'd like our viewers to know something about Romania. Their unemployment rate is 5%, while ours is 9.1%. So what are you doing right? Obviously a much smaller country. I know people are going to yell and say, Liz, you're comparing apples with oranges, but you're trying to be very fiscally responsible here. And you've been able to bring down that unemployment rate. How?
It's also a matter of the fact that many Romanians, up to 2 million Romanians, have found jobs outside of Romania, in Italy, in Spain, in Portugal. So there is a significant portion of our population that really goes and finds jobs in the rest of Europe. The other part is the fact that we have a significant portion of our population still working in the rural and agricultural work, and it's our seasonal works. So by our standards, 5-point-something% of unemployment is relatively high if you look at the aggregated number of employees.
Well, it sounds good to us, certainly, because we're so high. But, you know, attracting U.S. business. Microsoft, for example, has come into Romania and partnering to start to stimulate the high-tech industry there.
Not only Microsoft.
Who else?
And by the way, in Seattle, the second most spoken language after English is Romanian. Dell, Oracle, HP, name it. There are tens of thousands of bright Romanians that are working for American IT companies in Romania. We're now expecting Chevron and Exxon for drilling in the Black Sea continental shelf and for shale gas.
Now, you guys also have
I hope, and this is the purpose also of my visit to America, is to encourage more business to come.
Well, when you look at what you're doing and you're attracting that, it is certainly a compelling story, but, you know, you also look at the value-added tax. There's, what, a 24% VAT tax, which was just recently raised.
From 19 to 24, it was a big shock to consumption. It was a big shock for small business.
So would you say that was a good thing or a bad thing? If it
was a bad thing. But it was together with slashing 25% of the wages in the public sector, there was a very harsh situation. So going back to Greece for 1 second, the fact that they are coming to such dramatic situation, I don't think they'll have a referendum. The problem is if the government will survive Friday for a vote of confidence, or would they have either early elections or a national unity government. The same situation probably in Italy. But what I'm trying to say, we are reaching the political limits and the social limits of austerity. And this is something that we should all keep in mind, because our population feels the sacrifices of this austerity period.
Senator Geoana, does the Euroland survive if they lose Greece?
I think they will survive, but the risk for Europe, for European Union, is to have multiple centripetal centers of decision. And I'm also worried about some rumors in London. There is talk in London about a referendum on Europe, and this is an important country of the European Union. So, and also one word about America as well. The G20, which was supposed to talk about global imbalances and structural changes, will talk about Greece. I'm also concerned that the EU-US summit in November will be discussing about a super committee in your Congress. And there is a deep concern, and don't think that Europe and America are disconnected. We are very connected, and,
yes.
and bad news travels so fast. I hope we'll have some better news.
I know.
We need that as oxygen.
We can't really complain about the Eurozone when we have our own issues. It is an honor to have you here, especially considering I'm half Romanian. So thank you.
This is something special about you.
Mircea Geoana is the president of the Romanian Senate. 2015, they're expected to join the monetary union. Thank you so much for being here, and good luck.